So, good afternoon, everyone. I needed to double check something real quick there. It might be pertinent to the homily, so that's why I want to make sure I knew what I was talking about. First of all, thank you for your continued generosity. And I wanted to mention that I believe last week our 3 masses collected over $5,000 for hurricane relief for Hurricane Harvey. And we still have need. That's why we're going to do it again this weekend. So thank you for your generosity. It just seems like, we're in the midst of some really incredible things in terms of catastrophe. And we'll pace ourselves in terms of what aid will help with the next hurricane if the bishop, suggests that we would do that. And remember that our donations are being collected from parishes all throughout the diocese, and Bishop Thomas will be directing our funds directly to the Catholic Charities in probably Houston, I would guess. So I know I'm very pleased and not surprised by our generosity, so thank you. The second thing I was thinking about was, with all of this, hurricanes and earthquakes in Mexico and probably pestilence somewhere and famine, I was thinking a little bit about, I think it's Luke chapter 22, where Jesus talks about the end times and signs of the end times, right? And, those catastrophes that are out there remind us, I think, at least I hope, in the back of our mind as believers, that we should be watching for signs of our Lord's coming. And we know neither the day or the hour, but he does say that there will be signs. I don't know if these are the end times or not. I've heard some television evangelists speaking about maybe they are. But it begs the question, are we ready? And these major catastrophes in our world might remind us about how it is that we need to be prepared and ready. And I'm not doing my job if I don't tell you we got to be prepared and ready, right? I'd be a bad priest, right? Bad priest. So we need to be prepared and ready, and I hope it's in the back of our minds that we continue to have the core of the faith that we need in order to have confidence that whenever our Lord is coming, that we will be accounted among his faithful ones. Now, Aries and Deshawn are making a big step today by receiving Jesus in First Holy Communion. And that's something that we should not take for granted in our own lives. Because one way that we make sure that the core of our faith is strong is that we welcome Jesus into our lives. Now, I was thinking about, Luke chapter 22, I think it is, and catastrophes and all of that. But I also thought, there are signs in our midst that this isn't the end time. And some of those signs are what we hear in our second reading from Romans, where St. Paul says that we're called to love one another. And those signs of love have been repeating over and over, person to person, day in, day out, hour in, hour out, in and through the hurricane relief efforts and rescue efforts. And in fact, somebody was asked on one of the news stations that he's asked, well, what should we be doing? And the person said, do what we're already doing, showing love for our neighbor. And I thought, well, he could have said a lot of things, like provide water to the homeless or the storm shelters, or get blankets, or what, but no. He said, do what we're already doing, showing love for our neighbor. That sums it up. And indeed, when we see those signs of love for neighbor, disregarding sometimes their own life for the other person, we see the way that Christ has come to the world already. We see signs of Christ present in our midst, where two or three are gathered. In this case, where two or three are gathered, doing a lot. So there are signs that the world isn't coming to an end. And one of my favorite signs of the world not coming to the end is babies. Can you see this one here? What's his name? Darius, very good. Darius James. Take a look at this little guy. This is my not first cousin, not second cousin, not third cousin. Little Darius is my fourth cousin. Isn't he adorable? Hi, Darius, look at him. He just woke up for everybody. And he's from the Paulding area, and his mother and his grandmother are here with us today, Cindy and Abby. And his father must be working. So I think they do good work. This is the first time I met Darius, by the way. And he's got beautiful blue eyes, so wonderful. Congratulations, you guys. That's what you wanted to show me, huh? Good. They said they were coming with a surprise. You see, we only need to look around us. You had to see the pessimism and the heartache. Certainly it's there. But the hope is there too. The hope of another tomorrow. And if that's something that we can help others experience when things seem to be really dark, then let's do it. Not just, in the hurricane alley or wherever, but even in our own lives and in our own families, right? In our parish. That's the challenge. And it's a beautiful, beautiful way that we can live our lives of faith.